Alright, it's gonna be a casual one today, party people. Hello, welcome. My name is Michaela, this is meekela Reads. I live here. Sylvie, are you coming in or are you staying? Come here. Say hi to the people. Say hi, people. Welcome back. It feels like it's been 1,000 years since I've actually just sat down and spoken to you. Hello, how are you? Many things have happened since last time we sat here and spoke to each other. First and foremost, I got engaged. So that's the big exciting news that kind of took over my life for the last 2 weeks. It's just been a bit of a whirlwind in terms of just organizing my life. To answer some frequently asked questions, no, we don't plan on having a wedding at this point. Yes, everything is great and fun. The stone is alexandrite, so it's green for me and it's purple for you. That's been one of the biggest things that's happened recently. I didn't really read much in February. I read in total 3 books and I DNF'd 1. It's gonna be a short one today, but I still wanted to let you know because obviously things have happened and I missed you. I missed sitting here and chatting to you about books because that's why we're all here, isn't it? We're here to talk about books. All right, let's get into it. Despite the fact that I didn't read that many books in February, they were still quite fun. I still had a good time. 2 of the books that I read in February were actually audiobooks because, you know, driving to and from work. I listened to The Last Hours books 1 and 2 by Cassandra Clare. So we have Chain of Gold, which is the first, and then Chain of Iron, which is the second, both of which are relatively hefty books and quite long audiobooks. I read these in preparation for the 3rd book that was just released. However, the audiobook isn't released until like the 4th of March or something like that. I think it probably is out now, but I didn't have access to it when I wanted it. But this is a continuation of the Shadowhunter world that Cassandra Clare has pioneered. I didn't know why I was still reading these. Cassandra Clare's the author that I used to like auto buy. Like I would immediately be at the shops to buy the book the day they came out. I would read them the day they came out. It was an exciting event when her books were released, and I think that's a really formative part of my reading journey. However, I have fallen off the Cassandra Clare bandwagon as time has gone on, but I am glad in reading these it didn't feel like it didn't live up to my expectations or what I remember it being. They did sort of hold up in terms of the story and the romances, also making me like tropes that I don't normally like, which was also interesting and fun. But these are set shortly after the Infernal Devices series, so we're following on from those families. We're following Cordelia Carstairs and James Herondale primarily in this, but there is also another ragtag group of Shadowhunters. They call themselves the Merry Thieves, and they're living in a world that demon activity is kind of minimized. There hasn't been demons for quite some time, and then all of a sudden these demon attacks start happening. They have to finally use their training that they've been training their entire lives to fight the demons. Read these. This was a reread. I didn't really change my ratings on them just because I think they were fine. I think I rated them quite accurately the first time round. Then, the next book that I finished was a book that I've already spoken about on here ad nauseum. It is A Deadly Vow by J.D. Ronan. I finally got my physical copy in the mail. I read the arc of this when it came out quite recently. This is a enemies to lovers dark fantasy romance book. We're following 2 characters, Sabine and Kai. Sabine and Kai are children of opposing sides of this war that's happening between the kingdoms. They are magically bound together. If you like political fantasies that have a pretty heavy romance subplot, then I think this would be one that you would like. The author's writing is really lyrical and poetic, which took me a hot minute to get used to, but once I was used to it, I flew through the second half of the book. I read it in one sitting almost. I had a really good time reading this one. There's definitely some content warnings, so check those, keep your brain safe. But as I said, I've already sort of spoken to you a little bit about this. I will leave that vlog somewhere. And like I said, it was going to be a short one. The last book I tried to read in February, and I actually DNF'd, was Take Me Home Tonight by Morgan Matson, which I'm not entirely surprised that I've DNF'd it. This is a young adult fiction book. It is following 2 best friends, Kat and Stevie, as they head into New York City. Some shenanigans happen. To be honest, I didn't actually get to that point. I was listening to this via audiobook. However, I did put it down just because I really was not keen on the writing, the storyline, the characters. It just didn't grab me, and I think that I have officially outgrown this style of book. It didn't connect to me in any way. I wasn't connected to the characters, and yeah, it was just a little bit not me anymore. So I did put this one down. I did DNF it. I'm not going to unhaul the book just because I think I actually have some family members that might be interested in something like this, so I'm gonna hold on to it until I can give it to them. But yes, I think that my young adult fiction era has ended. Which very quickly brings me to the end of the wrap-up portion of this video. However, because it is so short, I might tell you what I have been reading recently and what I've been trying to make my way through and my thoughts so far. Since January, I have been reading Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. The difference is now that I've actually made some progress and I only have like 150 pages left, and I am loving this now. The writing is very, very easy to read and the story is actually quite gripping. I think one of the strengths of this is the characters. I don't particularly like the main character all that much, but her sidekicks and all of the other sort of side characters I have actually really quite enjoyed, and they are quite prevalent in the story, so I get to see them quite often. But this is Brandon Sanderson's sci-fi series. Sci-fi is a genre that I didn't realize that I liked as much as I do, so I think I might kind of try to explore this genre a little bit more this year and see if I can find any other series that I've been liking, because I think consistently now most sci-fi books that I've read I've really enjoyed. But in this one we're following Spencer. She is training to become a pilot in a world in which the humans have kind of been deserted on this planet, and they keep getting attacked by these aliens called the Krell. The humans have to defend from the Krell, otherwise they'll lose their civilization. And there is a huge political structure in place that we have to navigate because Spencer's dad dies at the start of the book, but he actually tries to escape from a battle and gets branded a coward, which then impacts Spencer's ability to really do anything in her future because her family has been branded basically as traitors and as cowards. But due to her amazing skills and giant ego, Spencer is able to actually make it into the flight school and trains to become a pilot to fight the Krell in this war and become a hero and redeem her family's name. I must regain my honor. So yes, again, I have been reading this since January, but I'm nearly finished it. I have the second one. I'm so excited to continue on with the series. But I'm also listening to Ace of Spades by, I'm gonna butcher this, Farida Abike-Imide. This is essentially a young adult thriller. This is set at a private academy high school-esque place. It's called Niveus Private Academy. It's a dual perspective and we follow two main characters, Devon and Chiamaka. At the start of the book, we get introduced to this anonymous character who is sending out text message blasts, essentially spreading gossip, very Gossip Girl-esque. This is a thriller, and so the nature of this is actually a little bit more remnant of Pretty Little Liars in a way. There are some pretty high stakes in terms of the consequences of this information getting out. This has been on my shelf again, I think for years, and I've only just finally gotten to it. I am listening to it and I'm actually finding that quite an enjoyable experience. We have the two main characters, but there is a whole host of other side characters that come in as well. Everyone kind of has their own secrets and their own stories, and it gets slowly revealed to us as it gets revealed to the main characters as well. So I feel very in the dark at the moment. I think maybe just over halfway through. I will tell you more about it once I'm finished, but I'm finally getting to it. And I don't know why I slept on this for so long, because it is quite good. And that's kind of all of the books that I have on the go at the moment. That's kind of all I have to talk to you about today. It's a bit of a shorter one, but as with the theme of the last video, we're taking this year at our own pace. We're going slow, because clearly I needed to. I have a few very exciting videos coming up in the next couple of weeks, so stick around for those because I'm excited about them, so it'll be good. But that's kind of it. That's kind of all I had for you today. Again, sorry it's a bit of a short one, but I promise you the next one will be a little bit more fun. Can't guarantee the length of it, but it will definitely be more exciting than today's video. So thank you for sticking with me if you've gotten this far. I hope you're having a fantastic day or night or whatever time it is where you are in the world, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.